Hey, Emmanuel. Wanted to touch base about some big things that we're going to have coming on over the next few months here at Emmanuel. It goes back all the way to last year. The Voters Assembly really charged the leadership of Emmanuel to be able to help us focus on the vision of who we are as a people in order to carry out the mission that God has called us to here. And 9 months of prayer and study and listening and reflecting brought us to 4 words: rescuing and restoring families. Rescuing really reveals the urgent need of God's love and grace in the community around us. Restoring really shows how God desires to put us wholly back together again, mind and body and soul. And families demonstrates that God uses so regularly relationships in order to put us back together. And the families that were given by God, but also the families that we choose and that we make in the relationships around us. Rescuing and restoring families is the kind of vision that can bring the kingdom of God right here into our community, and has the opportunity to grow in such a way as to change lives with an incredible good news that we love to celebrate here so much in Emmanuel. And so as we prepare to unleash this kingdom of God here, we begin not with great grand movements, but with small personal journeys. We begin starting with how God has restored you and me. We understand the wisdom that we can't give away anything that we haven't yet received. And so this Lenten season, we're really going to dedicate ourselves to 3 months of finding our own story in how God has rescued and restored us. This Lent, we're going to personalize that journey with the 7 words that Jesus speaks on the cross, 7 words of rescue spoken for you and for me. And in the Easter season, we're going to move to 7 words spoken by the resurrected Jesus that helped to put our lives back together again. We'll reflect on these words in our worship times together, especially on Sundays. But over the next few weeks, we're going to begin collecting stories that we can reflect on in our homes, in our Bible studies, in different settings. As we're reflecting on times together in worship, we'll reflect on times together in our homes and around the dinner tables to receive and press into 40 stories of rescue and restore. So first, we need stories. No matter how small it may seem, your story of how God has worked in your life and how He has changed you and spoken His words of grace and made you into the man or woman of God that you are today, that story matters. Not just to God, not just to you and your family, but to all of us, and we want to celebrate that story. So first, we need your story, and second, we need to get that story in and begin collecting those, and we want to help you with that. We're going to send out a story starter that you're going to be able to click on a link and help you to begin to reflect on the ways that God has worked in your life. We need you to get them to get those stories in. You can email them to our email address, ilcdg@ilcdg.org, or you can drop them in the offering plate when it goes by. You can drop it off at the church office. You can hand it to one of the pastors anytime during the week or on a weekend. The goal is just to have 250 words or less that share and demonstrate God's love